It remains one of the most disturbing crimes in Indiana history. 16-year-old Sylvia Likens was tortured and killed in a case that stunned the nation. 5 people were convicted.
Now, 60 years later, there's a new documentary that's giving voice to someone who has never shared her story publicly. Sylvia had a friend, and her name was Sheila. And Sheila told me it's time for everyone to remember the tragedy that she will never forget.
I was a kid. She was a baby, too.
Has it been hard to revisit all of this?
Yes.
It took 60 years for Sheila Wells to get to this point, publicly sharing her friendship with Arsenal Tech classmate Sylvia Likens. Why did you not talk until now?
It wasn't a venue for black people to speak up. You know, who would think that we had a relationship, a friendship? I was able to help her, comfort her, hold her hand, wipe her tears.
She remembers a battered Sylvia coming to class.
And the teacher just treated her like she was invisible. I couldn't understand why they didn't see the pain and the bruising, physical bruising, and the black eyes and the busted lips and the bruise. Who could miss it? Nobody missed it. Nobody said anything. All I wanted was for her to be all right, you know? And I kept begging her, who's doing this to you? Who's hurting you? Where's Mom and Dad? She said, they're not here. They can't help me.
Sylvia's parents were carnies on the road, and Sheila remembers asking her mom if they could take Sylvia in.
We can't do that. They'll put us in jail. Black people in jail, they'll say we hurt her.
So Sylvia and her sister Jenny stayed with their caretaker, Gertrude Banaszewski, in the 3800 block of New York Street on the east side of Indy. The house is gone.
Yeah, it was torn down here. It's been 60 years now.
What happened to Sylvia in this spot garnered widespread interest. How Gertrude recruited teens, including her son, daughter, and 2 neighborhood boys, to abuse Sylvia.
This is where the house was. So right on this corner, on the New York side, this was a duplex, and the Banaszewski family lived here. So people would have come into the house from the New York Street side.
In the fall of 1965, Sylvia died. She was 16. Filmmaker Ashton Gleckman grew up in Carmel and spent the last year learning about Sylvia.
And it's horrific material, and it's heavy material, and it's important to realize that these things happened. You know, there was the woman that was living in the house where we are standing right now. They heard screaming. They heard sounds coming right next door for hours the night before Sylvia died. They didn't call the cops. They didn't do anything.
I could hear her even in my bedroom at night.
It's all in the documentary short he created called Sylvia.
People often ask the question with a case like this, why go back? Why look at this again? Case closed, don't go back to it. And I disagree wholeheartedly. I believe that the only way to truly move on is to confront the past.
5 people were convicted. Gertrude got life in prison. After 20 years, she was released on parole. She walked out of the women's prison in 1985, changed her name, moved to Iowa, and died 5 years later. Today, if you know where to look, there are signs of Sylvia. Her gravesite is in Lebanon, her hometown, and her name is on the Center for Children there. And on Indy's east side, there's a monument in Willard Park.
It's sad to see it, but I'm glad for it, to keep her memory alive, to keep that what happened to her from ever happening again.
For Sheila, the hardest part isn't remembering.
It's something you never forget. When you see evil up close.
It's wondering, for 60 years now, what might have happened if just one adult had spoken up. Again, that documentary is called Sylvia. It just debuted last night, and it is sold out at the showing tonight at Heartland Shorts. But it is available for you to watch if you go to the Heartland Film site.